It's backseat drivers time. Good evening and welcome to Backseat Drivers number 8 for the year. The Chinese Grand Prix preview. Not really, because it got cancelled once again because of, I don't know, some reasons. But here to talk all things IndyCar because F1's having a quiet time. I'm sure we'll get distracted talking about Formula One anyway. First up, we've got Matt joining us from his school holiday.
Yep. So I'm allowed to stay up late tonight because school holidays.
Oh, God. These could really go out of control.
It's gonna go bad soon.
And someone who's definitely not going to help the cause at all, Fud Power.
Hi. I made it.
Hi. No Chinese Grand Prix this week. Do we care? Other than the big gap.
I miss racing. Even though F1 is fairly boring for most part, I do like watching cars go around in circles.
It is exciting. I was a bit like, why is there such a big gap? And then...
Where are they going to fit all the other races? How many? There's 27 races? Was it 24 races?
27 still to go, I think.
Yeah, like there's not that many weeks left.
34. I think they're racing till next year.
I think it's going to be like the NASCAR every weekend.
Are they doing like 2 a week or something to fit them in?
Are we having back-to-backs, like one in Malaysia, one in Singapore? That way you get 2 done in a weekend.
Back-to-back Saturday, Sunday.
No, what they'll do is one in Singapore, one in Monaco, 3 days later.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is why you got to bring Adelaide back. Melbourne, drive to Adelaide, do the thing, long weekend, you're done.
Yeah.
That's far too close, I reckon. You'd probably go like Melbourne, Perth, knowing F1.
Melbourne, Perth, and do the Perth on a Thursday night.
This kind of takes us into one of our new news stories. There's a planned new track built.
Rob's trying to keep us on track.
Rob,
never.
What? If you actually, obviously Matt hasn't read about this, but have you read about it? Apparently it's going to be FIA grade 1 or whatever.
Yeah.
So that it could take any category.
Yeah.
And then no, we're not targeting Formula One.
No,
why fucking bother making it shit?
But we could have back-to-back racing. We could have a race at Albert Park, then a week later at this new track.
Where is this new track, Dave?
Well, they're talking about Avalon.
Yeah.
Nothing but Avalon. There's nothing out in Avalon. No one wants to go to Avalon.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Then you don't have stupid neighbours complaining about the noise.
But there's
no
one
Save Albert Park wankers.
Yeah, there was also no one around Sandown.
Albert Park. And I had to hear noise once a year in my $4 million house. I think I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
It's probably not the people that actually live there that are complaining, though. Yeah.
Well, there was some of those people. And we've made the cars quieter for them.
Yeah. And then they bring F3.
Yeah.
But
supercars.
They're a bit quiet. Actually, I reckon the Porsches were louder. It was F3, Porsche, supercars, F2, F1.
Oh, wow.
F1 might have been. It just felt like they were quite quiet. But why would you bother if you don't have the intention of running F1? You can, and on grade 2 you can run everything but F1.
Yeah.
But to make it grade 1, essentially you have to make the track shit. So, well, what good track's been built? Like realistic, a good track for say supercars and that.
Yeah.
In the recent.
If they because the Bender's Ben's almost
the
grade
Ben's
1
shit.
at Parknet. Is it? I've never really watched
for
really
supercars though.
Yeah.
Well, it's spectacular in that, but then you go Phillip Island as well. That's grade 2 as well.
Yeah, but all the good tracks are usually the tracks that are like Long Beach coming up. Long Beach for IndyCars is amazing, but that's because there's walls everywhere and there's a chance that cars are going to crash into millions of pieces.
But Melbourne, on the other hand, like I mean, I love Melbourne because we can go there and whatnot. But
it's boring. Apart from like the initial crash after the restarts, it's
Is Phillip Pilendale in grade 3? I thought you had to be grade 2 to run MotoGP. Anyway, I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have our other fact checker here because he's too good for this show.
We'll just have to take Max's fact checking unless someone else wants
I'm going to take Max's word over yours, Dave. No offense, but
I just make half the stuff up, and people seem
half. I make everything up. Rob, how's your sim set up?
Too busy with work this week.
Work?
Yeah.
Angus, I apologise for Rob's weak excuses.
Good news, everyone, though. I have recorded something about my garage, and it's ready to go at some point. I'm just not sure when I should release it.
I think Dave, I think tonight we need to release it because I also have some big news. Not many people are aware, but I'm quite partial to ordering nonsense off the internet. And I may have found I'm not gonna sell it short, probably the greatest thing Rob's ever gonna receive. I'm hyping it up because it is magnificent. It's sitting just out of camera. I've shown it to one other person.
I was going to say, it's not me.
Surprise, surprise. She wasn't impressed, and I had to explain it in a 10-minute... and even after the explanation, it was, that's nice. Anyway, I have to get back to work. You do whatever it is you do.
We're all trying to work that out.
I'm very excited about this this item.
Yes.
I know it's early, Rob, but I think it's the best thing you're going to receive in 2023.
You're probably right.
Anyway, we'll get on to that later.
Yep.
We have actually got racing this weekend. Some IndyCars to watch.
IndyCars, yes.
Yeah, which we haven't talked about much so far this year because we keep getting distracted by Formula One. And apparently Rob is slack.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
That's my boss.
And yet, with our employment market here, you can't be replaced.
No. Yeah. I also have a job that no one else can do, so lock that one up. Texas.
It was. I was a bit worried in the middle of the race there when Pato went on his tear and lapped everyone but Joseph.
Yeah. That was a good run. That was. Yeah.
That reminded me of, it was Sebastian. That would have been, it'd have to be like 6 years ago now. I can't remember which track it was, but he just went on a tear in like the second half of the race. And I'm pretty sure he actually lapped like everyone twice in the end. Wow. Yeah, he just went crazy like that. And there wasn't a caution towards the end or, to bring it all back.
Yeah. But there wasn't I would have liked to have seen what would happen if there wasn't a caution to bring them all back in. Because I think that was Stingray Rob crashed and brought out the caution when he was on that run. I think.
It could have been. Yeah. And then Grosjean messed it all up at the end.
Yeah. When Pato was just about to get his run. I'm so disappointed.
Yeah. It was a bit disappointing. I'm not sure if he would have actually ended up getting him or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he was just biding his time, waiting for like the last lap or two to have a good run on him, and then go for it. But those last few laps of them just running side by side for 4 or 5 laps, that was. I was waiting for something to happen. I was waiting for him to hit. They did actually touch at one point too, and kept going. Yeah,
and then just watch. Pillow have a sneaky win while they took each other out.
Yeah, true.
That's
twice.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Do people get lapped a lot in Indy and NASCAR?
I can't comment on NASCAR, but on the shorter ovals in IndyCar, yes.
Yeah.
Because they're only
I'm assuming they're a lot shorter than an F1 track. Because, I mean, we all joke that Max is ridiculously overpowered, but he's never really lapped, say, a slower Williams at the back.
Yeah, so the Texas, they were doing, I think it was 21, 22-second laps.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. They did 250 laps.
Yeah, so when you've got 27 cars in the race, you're probably only, I don't know, 10, 20 laps in before you start catching the back of the field, just with when it spreads. So there were some guys who were like a lap down very early, and the problem is then once someone goes past you and you lose your momentum, it's just takes so long to kind of get it back.
Top 7 were the only ones who finished on the lead lap.
And that was a lot with when there's a caution, the lead guys will pit, and then the other guys will essentially overtake them. Like they won't pit at the same time, so they overtake them. So then they get their lap back, and then so they end up back on the lead lap. But there was a point in the middle of the race where Pardo had lapped everyone but Newgarden, and I think he was about half a lap ahead.
Wouldn't that be a bit defeated if you were, at the back? And if I'm at the back and you've lapped me twice, I don't know why I'm bothering to put much effort into it just to keep my car alive.
It doesn't happen as much now, but a big thing in the 90s with getting laps back and things like that, you would see guys, like the famous one probably would be that I can think of is Villeneuve winning Indy 95. He was 2 laps down at one point. And then got his laps back and then went on to win.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it does happen. If you can, with the pit sequences and stuff, you can get your laps back and get yourself back into the race. Yeah. But generally, that's only if you've had, say, an issue in the pits. If you're being passed because you're not fast enough, you can't kind of fight back because, you've got a bad handling car and you're just going to get smashed anyway. What did you think of the Rossi? Was Kirkwood in the pits?
Yeah. That was I think that was a bit of a mess up from everyone, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think they've changed the rules after that.
Yeah.
Just to kind of clarify things a bit. I think it was a bit of a miscommunication and where they were supposed to come down the pits and
well, the problem apparently in the rules it didn't say that you can't pit from the fast lane, but everyone was under the understanding that you slow down or you move into the transition lane and then pit from there. But also then the Rossi's pit guys should have probably known who was in front and behind.
Yeah, true.
To look out for them. Yeah. Anyway.
But I think they were both pretty upset.
Yeah. Well, Rossi was looking pretty good at the start there as well.
Yeah.
Like
true.
All
the current cars were doing pretty all right to start with.
Rosenquist was a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like someone pulled a handbrake.
Yeah.
But Pardo and Rossi looked very strong.
Yeah, true. But yeah. Well, no, I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty exciting race.
Well, I'm excited for Long Beach this week as well. Like, I'm definitely more excited about the IndyCar races at the moment.
Yeah.
Because,
Long Beach.
You don't know that Max is going to win.
Yeah, exactly.
What? Hey, Dave, spoilers. Come on. I haven't seen the race yet. But I also, I've seen a couple of races in the future, though, and Max wins by 15 seconds, and Lewis Hamilton says it's the most dominant car he's ever seen in his life because he hasn't seen his own car.
Yeah, he's got amnesia.
Yeah.
He doesn't
but he never
remember
got to
the last
see it, Dave.
8. Yeah.
I believe his words were it's the most dominant car he's ever seen. And technically, if he's in his own car, he can't see his car. He's only looking at the other cars.
That makes more sense now.
Yeah, you've got to read between the lines, Dave.
Yeah.
It's not the word. It's like jazz. It's not the words he was saying. It's the words he's not saying.
But he's going to move the seat backwards, just adjust it backwards a bit, and all will be fine.
Yeah.
I don't know why the mechanics didn't listen to him and adjust the seat backwards, and then it'll all be good. Yeah,
that's true. As you always
I believe that's another fact. So Kyle is now our new fact checker as well.
Yeah, but this is why you always watch F1 before you watch IndyCar, because if you watch it the other way around, it makes Formula One even more boring.
Which was it Saudi where there was the two races on essentially the same time?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I honestly got up and watched the IndyCar race on the Monday morning before work, and then watched because I was more worried about spoilers on the IndyCar race.
Yeah.
Whereas I would have never, it would have always been F1 as number one priority.
Yeah.
More people talking about it and whatever. And I was a bit like, well, I don't care. If someone spoils it, the Max wins this race.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Whereas
Dave, is it really spoiling it if you just say Max wins? Like you could post it and just say, pretty sure Max won, Alonso second or third, Perez second or third. You know, just move them around as you see fit, and you'll probably get it right.
I'm pretty sure Sportsbet's paying 90 cents for $1 for Max to win now.
I'd love to be the Sportsbet odd guy where they're like, hey, Matt, have you got your odds up for the next Formula One race? I'm like, copy, paste, done. I'll see you guys later.
They've got a futures thing, and I think it's to win 15, anyone to win 15 races in the season, and they've got no odds for Max on it. You can't actually bet on Max.
No. What about Alonso? He must be pretty close.
15 races.
Well, he's got more chance than Perez, because Perez, they'll just do sneaky things like, hey, Perez, you should pit right now. Don't ask us why, but you should pit 3 times. Again,
they already didn't they cut his brake lines in Melbourne or something? Wasn't.
Yeah, that's why they kept him. Yeah, ruined his race or ruined his.
Hey Perez, every hour you need a 15-minute power nap. So just pull over here and just have a little rest.
Yeah, driver to win 7+ races. There's no odds on Max. $5 for Sergio. 126 for Alonso.
How much for Dan?
He'd be with the rest of them at 501.
How much for Dan to win Vegas? I feel like Dave's going to put the house on that one.
I'm a little bit worried at the moment with this one because they're so far in front that Perez might be safe in that seat.
Yeah. They're doing a good enough job keeping people entertained in the pits.
Dan is currently almost the highest paid sports YouTuber, I reckon.
They don't want to wear him out for his public dancing shows and stuff. They want to keep him on the ball for that. They can't even get him out to race around Bathurst in a car.
No, because he was talking to Ford. He was doing Ford engine stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was doing at Ford, because didn't you say that of all the F1 drivers, he was one of the ones that didn't really listen to like engineering meetings and stuff, and didn't really have as much a technical background as some of the other drivers?
Yeah, he's talked about it himself a few times on podcasts that he says he has no technical know-how on cars. What
was he doing at the Ford thing? They're like, hey, Dan, this is our engine. He's like, that's cool. have you seen the TikTok of me driving in the desert?
He's just there as just as a personality.
Yeah.
Have you
He's
seen
getting
the
them all
latest one
hyped about it.
Yeah. Have you seen the latest one of him having going surfing and eating some fish?
Yeah, I turned that off halfway through.
Basically, Dave, he gets into the car after the F1 race. They drive him down to a surf park. He eats some stuff out of a Yeti ice cooler. I think it's Fanning or one of the surfers. I don't know. He surfs a bit, and then Dan goes home. It's like 3 minutes. Okay. 3 minutes, and that cost him $18 million.
Is this a Red Bull video, or is this?
I think it's like a Red Bull Yeti ambassador type video.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like Red Bull are like helping their smaller sponsors.
Okay.
And I think Yeti's one of their smaller sponsors now.
You've seen the site Cameo where you can hire celebrities to do videos.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what Dan is at the moment. He's
But can we hire Dan?
For Red Bull.
Can we hire Dan to do a video for us?
I've already checked.
Who's the highest up, say the Formula One ladder that you can get to do? I'd imagine there probably wouldn't be like a current driver doing it, but
I'm just checking for us now.
Nick DeVries.
Oh, so
$225.
You can get Grosjean.
Grosjean's $150. Karun Chandok. I think
you can get
Dave's got a birthday present coming up.
Zach Brown. Wait a minute, how much is Zach Brown's $375?
Yeah.
Tell him he's dreaming.
Dave, that's a lot of YouTube money. I don't know if you have that yet.
I definitely can't afford that.
No. Montoya's on there. Juan Pablo Montoya. He's only $135. He's cheaper than Romo.
Hey. One of my favourite drivers ever.
Stoffel Van Dorn. He's on there. I reckon Karun Chandok might be a good birthday present.
How much was Karun?
$113 US.
Ooh.
That's a weird amount.
It is.
Do you think it's like that they charge like 13% or something? So he's like, I want $100 to do it, and it's going to be like X amount of taxing or whatever from Cameo.
It looks like he records it just like what we're doing now. He sits in a room, records like a 50-second video, like "Happy birthday, Dave! You're the best. Keep on trucking. That'll be $100, please."
Could we get him to like say, "This is Backseat Drivers. They're awesome. I watch them every week."
I'm sure they can lie for us.
Yeah. Just get him to do like a quick segment each week.
I think that sounds like it could get expensive.
No, you just replay the same one.
Yeah.
I guess Zach Brown just to confirm why he fired Ricardo.
No, he's still an employee.
Yeah.
True.
He's just an unproductive employee at the moment.
Yeah. He's a very well-paid, unproductive employee.
Yeah. It's a very expensive holiday.
Sebastian Montoya?
So are Red Bull paying him as well?
Yeah, there would be.
So he got his lump sum payout, which is probably taxed at like 1% because he's living the Monaco dream. For the weather, and that's a good place to train. And also he's probably got a business that's registered somewhere in Delaware, so he can pay even less tax.
Yeah, the wine business.
Oh, isn't that down here?
Yeah, but it'd be registered probably in the Cayman Islands or something. Although that probably wouldn't make any money. That'd be like Clarkson's farm.
Oh, that's true.
There is no way that's profitable business.
That is a tax write-off.
Yeah.
That is definitely a tax write-off.
And Dan's got his clothing stuff as well.
Is he?
Well, that seems quite popular.
I'm not sure whether that's more popular than Kamoa or not. But
I feel like he's got a lot of things that he'll keep himself busy, and I feel like Netflix is probably recording him. I reckon Netflix has recorded a good 4 hours of Melbourne footage, which they're just like, we'll keep this back here. We can just take it off the top shelf, put it in an episode, and just call it Dan's Spring Break.
That'll fill in a couple of minutes each episode next year.
Yeah, they'll cut to him and just ask him like, what do you think?
And then when he's back full-time driving, it'll all be normal next year. Yeah.
There's this Christian Lunga.
We've lost Matt.
We lost Matt.
We've lost Matt and footage.
Christian Lundgaard, the Formula 2 driver, is asking for $225.
Lundgaard's an IndyCar driver.
Oh, actually, yeah, he is now. Never mind.
You may forget because he's around the back in one of those Ray Hall Letterman cars.
You can get Connor Daly for $45.
Really?
Yeah. I think that's an absolute bargain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we'll get him to do an intro for us.
I don't mind Connor. He's
good.
All right. Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll look into getting him to do an opening intro for us.
He's the kind of guy though who probably would.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Right, we'll look into that one. We'll get our people into that one.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Looks like Matt's frozen.
Have I frozen?
No. Oh no. It just looked like you'd frozen.
I'm worried about the camera set. I didn't really test this out. I got overconfident with my setup ability.
Are you the camera expert?
Yeah.
The one with like the 30-40 cameras?
I think it's pretty obvious that he's not.
Is this like me and my skateboards? Like I've got a pile of skateboards around here, but I can't skate.
I can use the cameras for doing still images, Rob. But then once I start moving, it gets complicated.
Is that why you've got the square coming up on your face?
Yeah,
that's because I haven't figure out how to shoot him. It off. It's so people know where I am. It brings attention to my face. It's my best ability.
Someone's put in all these new notes in here.
Yes, I've printed out notes and you guys can read them because I've spent the last couple of weeks with ChatGTP and I've asked ChatGTP a bunch of questions in a new segment that I like to call Matt asked ChatGTP F1 questions that Dave and Rob will answer after ChatGPT has.
Oh God!
The we correct ChatGPT.
Yeah, well, basically, I found that anyone that's concerned about ChatGPT doing their job at this moment has nothing to worry about. It makes a lot.
I could see it replacing some people because I know some people that make a lot of mistakes.
A lot of these questions, Dave, I had to re-prompt probably 10 times.
I'm sure you've worked with some people in the past where you have to...
I definitely have.
Or maybe currently work with some people that you have to prompt multiple times.
Maybe. So one of the questions I asked it, Dave, was to give me a dream 20. I did 23 races because I thought we wouldn't go crazy. And I made it pick, it would be day or night. And it would also select a bunch of them to be sprint races. Now, ChatGTP does not know which laps are good for sprints, and ChatGTP also doesn't know which races are good to do at night time, because even I figured this out. One of the races it wanted to do was Japan at night time. Now, I watched Japan last year, and it rained a lot. So I suggested to ChatGPT that a race at nighttime in the rain was not a sensible idea, into which ChatGPT agreed with me and changed it to daytime.
Is this? I'm just looking through. It seems you've got at least one circuit twice already on there.
Oh no, there was two that I noticed. There's the Albert Park circuit and then the Melbourne circuit, or the Australian circuit. So I'm assuming I'm going to take that as one's Adelaide and one's Albert Park.
Okay.
What is the question that you asked it?
Okay, so I asked a bunch of questions, Rob. I told it I wanted a Dream 23 race
and they confused it.
season. I also wanted some of the races to be at nighttime and some of the races to be at daytime. I wanted a sprint race, but I also said, because Lewis Hamilton is concerned about CO2 usage, I want the most fuel efficient and safe race. So most of the races are next to each other. Near the end, it fell apart. Again, the fault of ChatGTP. So shall we read through them, and you can give me your thoughts on just sections of it?
I'm currently just pumping this into Bing ChatGPT because I find it slightly more accurate sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry, Dave.
I was just going to say, it starts off with Albert Park.
I told it to pick Albert Park first.
With a
Vegas last.
Sprint race, which sprint race around Melbourne probably wouldn't be too bad because the start is quite spectacular.
So can I tick that down as a one correct race so far?
Well, I'm quite happy starting off in Melbourne. The international audience probably not quite as happy with it. But I do like that idea, and possibly even, especially with this standalone sprint that they're talking about doing now, that probably, if you kick off the season with a quick sprint, could be interesting.
Yeah.
I also made Vegas the last race.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which
that'd be good.
Yeah. I think that like your big kind of party race right at the end. I do like that idea.
Also, my other thought, Dave, is make the last race finish on New Year's Eve. And then when they cross the line, hopefully Max crosses into the next year, explosions. These are just these are just my ideas with ChatGPT.
I like the idea. I don't like that it runs that late kind of into the holidays and things like that.
That's a good point. Because they finished November.
Well, the last couple of years have been quite late. But I think we're once again first weekend December for the final race because they've got to fit so many in. Next up, you got Sepang.
Yeah.
Happy with Sepang. Circuit of the Americas. I've never got that excited about Coda.
No.
It's a track. Turn one is something different. The rest of it,
it's a bit.
Interlagos.
I love Interlagos.
Yep,
I do like that
I
track.
did tell it to pick any circuit that's ever been used previous. That's why I think the Russian circuit snuck in. Because ChatGPT is unaware.
We haven't got to that yet. But Interlagos, big thumbs up for that. Monaco, I'm more than happy with Monaco in there.
Night race in Monaco would be kind of cool.
And I know, like, a lot of people don't like Monaco because it's a qualifying thing and the race is essentially a parade. But I like IndyCar from the fact as well that they race on all different types of circuits.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to see F1 just purely going to your run-of-the-mill, Tilka, copy-paste kind of circuits. I like that they still go to Monza, they go to Monaco. You have things like Melbourne and Montreal in there that are a little bit different. So,
is Montreal on this? It's not on. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah.
I believe Montreal. Yeah.
Yeah,
somewhere.
Villeneuve down the bottom. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all
right. Barcelona. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a take it or leave
it. Paul Ricard. They need to not use the fucking chicanes down. Like have the full Mistral.
Yeah. They should not have any barriers up for any of the paths and let the cars just go wherever they want.
Choose your own adventure.
Yeah, as long as you get to the start again.
Yeah.
So you'd have no track limits, Rob. There'd be no complaining from George when someone takes the corner too wide.
No, have track limits. You're not allowed to go over the stripy bits. You have to stay on the tarmac, but you can use any of the.
Wait, don't the stripy bits slow you down?
They're supposed to. Yeah.
I reckon if they slow you down, you're allowed to use them because you're not going to get through quicker.
Just put sausage curves throughout them, hidden on them.
Yeah, more aggressive stripy bits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you hide sausage curves in the colours so the drivers can't see them, then they won't want to go off there because they may end up flying through another car.
That's it. Let's have a penalty for going off the track.
Yeah.
And then give it to them at the end of the race, and then they can go, no, not fair. And then they can crack it.
Yeah.
And then do appeal.
Yeah. Just to get sidetracked, not that I do this all the time. Has that appeal? Did they appeal for Ferrari's 5 second?
I'm pretty sure they have.
And I take it then nothing happened.
No, I don't think it's been heard yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think the whatever the hearing's coming up. But it's a fourth place, wasn't it? Was it fourth or fifth?
He was at 4, and then the 5 second took him to 12.
Yeah, but they've got bigger things to worry about, I think, than trying to get 10 or 12 points. They should be more concerned about why they're not actually in a position to score 15, 20, 25 points in a race rather than trying to chase that. To me, let it go. It's happened. Yeah. The rules are dumb on that, but Ferrari, you've got bigger things to worry about.
Yeah.
Why are you getting beaten by Aston Martin?
Rookie of the Year's driving, that's why.
Well, yeah. He come out this week saying, something about Seb might not have got the same results out of the car as what I can. Because I am the Rookie of the Year.
I am the greatest.
Silverstone.
Yep.
I don't know about this night race business there, and I would want it to revert back a few steps.
I don't think it knows about changing the old circuit or new.
I don't like the changes that came in whenever it was 2012 or something like that.
Should go back to the original circuit.
Well, I don't know if we go back that far because that was pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
But somewhere around that late 80s, early 90s kind of layout. Red Bull Ring.
Yeah.
Would you revert that back to the original, or I don't mind the racing there.
Yeah, I like it. I don't mind that track.
I've only seen clips from the original track, But I don't think. I think the racing is actually better on the new circuit.
Yeah.
Spa,
100%
in. Definitely not a night race like it suggested, though.
I don't see why everyone loves Spa so much. I don't think it's that amazing. I don't know.
It's not the same in the newer Formula One cars.
Yeah.
I think the problem that the new, they're essentially too good.
Yeah.
So some of the challenge, like the big, like deep breath, trying to go through Eau Rouge, fast.
Too easy now.
Now it's just, it's essentially a flat out kink for them.
Will they update tracks then, Dave, to match the car?
I would hope that they wouldn't change somewhere like Spa for that purpose. But yeah, they do that. So, which is why they've updated Albert Park, Silverstone is shit now. Yeah. But then, we've seen, they're reverting Catalunya back to the original layout, or the second last corner now back to the original layout to try and improve it. After I
really think they need to hurry up and get smaller cars in. Cars aren't so big.
This is what they had the opportunity with these new set of rules.
Isn't that what they're doing in 2026 or the update after that? They're supposedly going to try and bring the cars smaller and lighter.
Yeah, but the engineers will convince them that, oh no, we need to make the rules. So now they're 1,100 kilos and 8 meters long.
Yeah,
and 3 meters wide.
I reckon every 2 years, like 3 months before the start of the season, they go, you're allowed to have, say, 250 million for 2 years, and 3 months before the start of the season, they go, these are the new rules for this next 2 years. Off you go, and keep it different each time.
Give the smaller teams a lot of time, though.
They're all using the same money, so they all
but that's assuming that they could all get the same
out of it
amount of money. Yeah. I like, though, say you've got the new rules coming up 2026, I think it is, that with the budget cap, say if you want to sacrifice 24, 25 for the new set of rules, you can divert budget, Wintel time, etc. If you want to plow on with those championships, whereas in the old days you would have had Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari just plowing bulk money at 2 programs or maybe 3 or 4, depending on if you're Honda.
Also, I thought if you give them the money up front, then they've got they can't go over that limit for the 2 years, so they can put all their money into it straight away, and then not have any more development or any money for parts and stuff later on, or they can spend less now and have more for the future.
That's essentially what we've got.
But I also want
You're just shortening up the rule time.
Yeah, but also we should have a gauge on how much each team has spent through the year. So each race comes up, and you see this is how much they spent. So each week they got to give their financials to
Rob, they'll find a way to get around it by because Red Bull are not going to want to show, that they've spent more money than Mercedes, because those two are right now. It's like Cold War, Russia and America. Neither of them is showing their full hand.
Yeah.
Neither of them want the other one to know. They'll make up some things where they'll either overestimate what they've spent, or underestimate, or they'll Red Bull will be like, oh no, we've already spent $100 million on all of this stuff. We can't possibly win the next 10 races. And then the next 10 races they win, they're like, oh, did we say $100 million? Whoopsie, I meant $100. We've got heaps left. Now we're going to demolish everybody. And then Toto gets angry that Horner's found some creative way to get around your, explaining how much money they've spent.
Well, What would happen if Christian Horner went down to the local casino and chucked on $10 million on black and won? Does that get counted in the cost cap if he's used the money from the cost cap to win more?
Yes.
So what you're saying is if he put some money on, so he'd have to gamble on, I was going to say he could gamble on F1 results and just go, Max is going to win.
Yeah.
See, there's nothing to say if Red Bull opens up their own casino and pays all the engineers $10 and they happen to go down to the Red Bull casino and put their $10 on Max, which returns $1 million.
Yeah. All the tables
can they put their money in like a some sort of stock market thing? And then at the end of the year, they're like, hey, we put $100 million in, I don't know, this solar power, and we've now made $350 million. That's all us.
So I think, where football teams or whatever, and they'll have, the wife is employed by the team as well. And, she's the cleaner or whatever. And
on $10 million a year.
Yeah. And this lowly footballer is only getting $30,000.
Poor kid.
Yeah, there is whatever measures in there so that you can't say, like, for obviously Red Bull supplies parts to AlphaTauri or whatever, that you couldn't say going, oh, well, fuck you, AlphaTauri. Like, you're going to develop a new gearbox for us, and you're then going to sell it to us for $10. Yeah. And we buy this gearbox that you've spent $10 million on. We're going to buy it off you for $10. And all of a sudden we magically get another $10 million. I think there is in there, like, if you have, 1,000 employees, obviously you're spending more than someone who has 500 employees. That there's like set amounts for certain things, especially with parts and that.
I just thought of another way,
It should cost X amount of dollars.
So Adrian Newey's covered under the free money jackpot thing, right?
Yeah.
Because what happens if, let's say, Rob is our Adrian Newey of our team, right? And I pay him $15 million a year because he's very smart. Look at that. He's got glasses on and a fancy hat. And he decides he needs, I don't know, a masseuse, an assistant and all that. Can they then hire those people independent of Red Bull?
Yeah, and I think this is probably where some of the greyness came up last year with the Red Bull stuff.
Okay, I thought so.
With the catering and that. Yeah. And why the joke was kind of the catering pushing it over.
Yeah. So basically, if I was Newey and I'm like, oh, I'm really stressed out, I need to hire my son. He's going to be my assistant, but I need to hire him out at $150K. I know what I'll do. I'll get Red Bull to pay me $160K more so I can then pay my son. But technically, because no one needs to question how much they're going to pay their top three, right? Like, Toto can't even come around and say, why are you paying Adrian $800 million, but he lives in a shoebox? Where's all that money going? You're like, I don't know. We just give him money. It's not our fault he puts it back into the car. I mean, puts it into the Cayman Island account.
Well, I think it's possibly not like so much directly into the car. It's though like we pay, say, Newey $20 million a year, and then he just happens to shout all the mechanics dinner every night when they're at a race weekend. Like, and no, that's Adrian shouting all the guys dinner. That's not part of the budget cap.
If Adrian was to say, let's say, open up an Adrian Newey House of Aerodynamics, and at the end of every race, he just has 20 people turn up and he teaches them what's in his brain. One, that gets around it. And two, in the future, you're going to have potentially, let's say not all of them become Adrian Newey's, but like two of them do. That's just, generational Adrian Newey wealth. And Red Bull just have a constant, if they open like a small school of, people who think and smart and stuff, you can just, once he's retired, you'd hope that he's trained up, I don't know, 5 or 6 people with his knowledge. at no cost of Red Bull, technically, because Adrian did it himself.
Yeah, you've got to keep them at Red Bull as well, though. That's the hard thing too.
That's true, but I think if you have your Rob's Casino idea and you pay them $30 million a year, so Toto can't steal them, because let's be honest, I guarantee at the end of every race, Toto just walks past all of them and goes, "Are you having fun? Is Christian a good boss? Anyway, I'm going to go now. We've got an arcade machine in the back, and we've got lots of rye bread. So if you like rye bread and arcade machines, come join me. I can teach you German as well. So anyway, keep that in mind."
I think that's where it gets very hard with and that's where I think Red Bull last year probably pushed some of those grey areas, and that's probably why the penalties weren't the way that they like. The penalties are what they are because it was probably pushing a couple of grey areas to actually test the waters on it.
Well, because I know for a fact many years ago in a company I worked at, Microsoft tried to poach staff, and you can't just go up and say, "Hey, Rob, come work for us." You sort of have to go, "Hey, Rob, if you left your resume here, someone might look at it, but we're not offering you a job. We're just saying, why don't you leave these 2 pieces of paper here that have your name and some sort of work history on it, and maybe we could give you a job," because basically you couldn't poach people. And I imagine it's the same in F1. You can't just go up to Newey and go, "Here's a blank check. I'll see you on Monday."
Well, you can still do that. Yeah, you can still do that. But that's where, it's causing some issues now with the whole the gardening leave thing, where you can't just switch teams. Like they started bringing that is obviously some teams had that into contracts and things like that. But when you get to a certain level, you can't just switch over, because there was that big thing where Haas employed all these people that then were Ferrari employees, and then they went and worked at Haas for 6 months or whatever, and then went back to work at Ferrari. And they didn't bring any of the knowledge that they learnt while they were working with Haas, using all of their wind tunnel time and that. It just, So they brought in this gardening leave thing, which is causing some issues with, say, Aston Martin employed all these guys 12 months ago or whatever, and now, or probably even longer, but now they're actually starting to make a difference on the car, because they had to wait there 6 months before they could actually join, and then there's that period of getting into it.
Oh, so they have a non-compete and NDAs as well, I imagine.
Yeah, I think it works as you get higher. Like if you're just a nobody mechanic, like you can chop and change as you wish, and then I think it is a sliding scale thing. Like say if you're a head mechanic or whatever, you might have 3 months, and then the higher up positions have 6 months. But there would probably be ones like Newey would probably have in his contract that it'd be like 12 months or something like that.
Well, I was going to say he would have to be. You need to go on a 1 year bender and literally use alcohol to damage all your brain cells so you can't remember anything. Yeah. And then go to an F1 team. And then...
Yeah. I'd imagine he would now be on a long-term one.
But from what I understand, he prefers the Red Bull setup because at this moment they have that do what you like, where they don't have to. He doesn't have to answer to, Rob in accounts who's like, Adrian, I went through the accounts and it'd be really cool if we could put this here, because I'm all of a sudden an amateur engineer and we're going to have 16 meetings just to discuss what angle the DRS wing needs to be.
Yeah. I think because he had a big falling out with Williams because they promised him
today.
Yeah, that he'd be part of the upper management decisions and that. And then they obviously signed Heinz-Harald Frentzen without him knowing about it. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back there.
But wasn't he fairly smart then at the time? Like, it sounds like obviously hindsight's an amazing thing. But if you've got someone who's just helped you win a bunch of constructors championships, you'd sort of be like, well, you clearly know what you're doing. I'm just going to sit back, take credit for it, and do nothing. I'd rather do that. I'd just be like, look at me. I'm the guy that hired Adrian. I do nothing, but every time I have a board meeting, I'm like, here's another constructors championship. I'm going to Spain for a month. I'm obviously a genius.
But that was some egos clashing. Yeah. And then there's similar thing with McLaren that ended up in the end, like there was issues all the way through. But then finally, essentially, they were running kind of dual programs with the design and this fucking matrix structure.
That's right, because they're bringing that back now, aren't they? I've heard they're bringing that back to McLaren now.
Because they were getting paranoid that we're relying on one person too much. So the one person went, oh, fuck this, I'm out. And it all collapsed anyway. Whereas at Red Bull, essentially, they're like, yep, you're a fucking genius. What do you want?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to go and design a yacht for 2 years or whatever? As long as you're not designing F1 cars. Yeah. But essentially, if you're not designing F1 cars if you're designing a fucking yacht, you're not designing F1 cars for other people. If you're off designing an Aston Martin hypercar, you're not designing F1 cars for other people. And then this is a fucking disaster of Matt's.
I was going to close his camera, but this is also quite entertaining.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but then he ends up coming back, and he just like walks in. He's like, "Have you thought about moving the suspension to here or whatever?" While he's off doing his yacht or his whatever the Valkyrie or whatever, and then oversees the whole thing.
Now, I think it's long enough. Can I present Rob's amazing We've All Been Waiting?
There's no time like the present.
Yeah.
Here we go, Rob. Now, hopefully you can see it. Wait for it. Now, hopefully, I don't think you can see it in focus, but that is a metallic plaque of yours truly, Mr. Latifi. You may notice up here, that is a signature. Now, I don't know if that's legit, but it looks legit enough. That is Latifi in his Williams car.
Nice.
That is worth the many dollars that I spent. Many dollars, Rob.
Did he sign it when he was over in China?
Look, I checked the back. There's no certificate of authenticity. You're just going to have to believe me.
We can make one.
But Rob, I expect you to come pick this up soon and hang that just above. Yeah.
There. Right there.
This is I was very proud to show this off. I explained to my better half who this driver was, and I used the phrase, he almost finished 21st in a 20-man competition. Until which I was asked, then how good was he? I'm like, he was the best.
Wardrobe change.
Better put the Latifi hat back on.
So if that sits like there.
Oh, that's in focus there.
Yeah, there we go.
How does it get in focus when it gets so far away?
I think because it's the same distance as my head.
Matt's sitting in the wrong spot.
Look, Matt's doing a lot of things wrong today. But I feel like this is also right.
One thing he has done right is the signed Latifi thing.
It does. That is amazing. I'm going to come see you on the weekend, maybe. Get it. I'll put it up for next week.
I reckon Rob's going to be there in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
We'll just hear him crashing through the front door. Latifi!
Rob has to leave now, and he'll join me on the I'm very happy that showed up.
No, that's cool. I'm gonna. Yeah.
So I'm quite proud of myself on that one.
Yes.
Now the last thing. Oh, sorry, Rob. You can.
Yeah. No, that's all right. I was going to talk about Goodwood members meeting, but
Members meeting.
Members
is
meeting.
That like is that different to the Festival of Speed?
It is. So instead of going up the driveway, this is on the Goodwood racetrack, which I believe was a Formula One racetrack.
I think they did use it.
60s.
Yeah.
Was that the one that Richard Hammond went to for his TV show?
Probably. I don't know.
I think he went to.
Possible.
Yeah. But they drive. If people haven't watched it, they generally drive classic cars around. So like one race has sports prototypes from 1960 to 1966. So Chevron BMW B8, Brabham BT5, GT40, Shelby Cobra 427. They don't hold back when they race them either. They go hard.
Yeah.
It's quite entertaining. The cars are generally sliding around everywhere. They're all period correct. I don't think they let them run new like fake cars. They have to be genuine.
Oh,
so it's not like Touring Car Masters here.
No. So it's they have to be the original car. Yeah.
I have a question, Rob. Do they let current F1 drivers drive them into walls? Like in Monaco?
Yes.
Is that a thing that most people do, or is that just because I saw it? Like, am I just confused and thinking that's a common occurrence?
That's not that common, but they do crash them. Not
like,
always.
What's the chance of me seeing a Jensen Button taking a GT40 sideways into a tyre wall?
Pretty good. He was racing a Shelby Cobra a couple of years ago around there. Maybe last year. He didn't crash it. He did pretty well. Yeah, he actually did pretty well. He was pretty quick around there. It was. He stuffed up the start and had to come back through the field. And very entertaining drive.
So when is this members meeting on?
It is on Saturday and Sunday, I believe. Hang on.
And do we have to jump on Twitter and complain that we can't watch it on live free-to-air TV in Australia?
It's on YouTube.
Is that a thing we can do, Dave?
What? Yeah. Oh, but it's not televised.
Yeah, I do that.
But not on free-to-air. Are you telling me that I'm allowed to whinge about every sport that's not on free-to-air?
Yes.
Apparently, and then... Yeah, even if it's a delayed highlights package or something.
Yeah.
How do I watch this on TV?
Yeah. Well, this you don't watch on TV unless you have YouTube on your TV, which everyone should. But they live stream it on YouTube, and they usually have it replay. They usually have, because it's Saturday, Sunday UK time, so it's
the middle of the night for us.
So it's currently.
At the moment, it'll be about 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Hang on, I've got it here on here. It is currently midday in London, so
it was close.
Pretty good.
So usually 6-7 p.m. they start racing. So I usually watch it.
Okay.
So Saturday, Sunday. So it'll be Sunday, Monday our time. But they keep the stream. They just keep replaying the stream for 24 hours. So
okay.
Come back on and keep watching.
I've heard the live streams on YouTube, Matt.
Yeah,
it is, and it's live in 21 hours.
Yeah, there we go. 21 hours.
Maybe I'll just keep it here.
Oh, hang on. What day is it at the moment in London?
It'd be Thursday.
Minus 9
Wednesday
hours.
night. Wednesday morning.
Okay, so
February the 5th. I don't know. I'm not even close, am I?
They're 9 hours behind us.
It's March. 21st of March. They've got that lousy March weather.
Yeah, so Saturday night will be Saturday morning for them. So Saturday night, it'll be on TV, not on YouTube.
Okay. Because we have nothing better to do.
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't kid yourself, Dave, that you've got things to do.
But they also...
I've got more going on during the week than what I do on the weekends.
Yeah. They also have Group 1 saloon cars from 1970 to 82. So they got Mazda RX-7s, Rovers, Ford Capris
Ooh.
racing. Then what else? There's a Ford Lotus Cortina Cup, so it's just Ford Lotus Cortinas, and that's got.
Oh, you're keeping Dave up with this this lineup.
That's got his favourite racing driver, Karun Chandok Racing.
Nice.
David Brabham, Tiff Nadal, Andy Pruiks.
Wait, did you say Tiff as in fifth gear
yes.
Tiff?
Yes.
Yeah. He used to be a race car driver.
Yeah.
I'm aware of that. I just
twice.
I haven't heard that name for a while.
Yeah.
Don't you watch Fifth Gear each week?
Is that still going?
I have no idea.
Yeah. I know they did a re-energized one, which just did electric cars. And Booby told me about that because Booby loves electric cars. And because he's not on this live stream, he can't defend himself.
I heard he was buying a Tesla.
Yeah.
I heard he was looking at getting a Polestar.
He was getting a Lance Stroll edition Tesla.
Is that where his daddy pays all the money and just buys
it? Also, there is one race for here, if I can find it. There's a celebration of top flight GT races from the early 21st century. So Aston Martin DBR9. There's the GT1 cars, Corvette C5R, Chrysler Viper GTS R, Lister Storm GTM. So that would be kind of cool.
Ooh.
But yeah, there's usually lots of different cars from different eras, and it's fairly exciting. I did see one of the AC Cobras have one hell of a crash there one year. The car was absolutely destroyed, and I'm pretty sure it's been back racing since.
Okay.
They pretty much get them, fix them back up, and send them back out again.
And then go and destroy them again.
Yeah. It's really, really rich people who really like watching people drive their cars.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'd imagine some of these cars would not be cheap.
No.
Yeah, I don't think they're like a Ford Kia, just taking out my Kia, I'm going to go for a quick lap.
It was Chris Harris drove one a few years ago there. I think he was racing a Ferrari, and I'm pretty sure it was a one of one. Like there was only one of these Ferraris ever built.
Has what's his name, JJ or whatever his name is from Jamiroquai turned up? He's a man that likes his cars.
True. He raced a Ferrari 250 LM.
Oh.
Who's that, Chris Harris?
Yeah, Chris Harris.
They're a very expensive car, if my Gran Turismo knowledge is to be believed.
14.3 million US.
Yep, that sounds about how much it was in Forza or Gran Turismo.
Yeah, and he drove one of them.
I'd be risking that, like in a race.
I would definitely let Leclerc drive that car at Monaco.
Yeah.
I'd maybe take it up the hill climb very slowly.
I'll post that link in here.
Yeah.
Oh. Let's put the link for it there if anyone wants to watch the Top Gear thing on it. But yeah, it's always a good weekend of tweed hats and stuff.
So we wouldn't fit in with our caps?
No, so we've got to have a the old flat cap.
Oh, hello. Hello, sir.
Another wardrobe change.
This is my...
Hey, Rob, when are you going to go see the cobbler and the candlestick maker?
Later, Sonny.
You look like the kind of man that could tell someone when they're reverse parallel parking how much further they have to go before they hit another car. And people,
Keep going.
Hey.
Too far. When you feel the bump, you know you're there.
You also look like you're about to tell people that F1 was much better back in the 70s, and kids these days don't know how easy they have it. and what's this internet and TikToks?
Those damn TikToks.
Everything new makes you angry.
That's how it is anyway, really. with or without the hat.
When you get to our age, Matt.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
I feel like this should be a pint of beer, actually, or pint of Guinness.
Yeah, you looks like you should be at a bar.
Yeah, instead of straight vodka.
Yeah. Carbonated vodka.
Well, if you run it through the soda stream.
Oh, soda streams are great.
Yes. All right. We got anything else?
I think we're done well.
Yeah.
I will. I'll save the rest of these printed out nonsense. I mean, intelligent questions for next week.
Excellent.
Sounds good. We'll have a Long Beach review, and
I like how you print things out instead of just keeping it in like your computer.
Well, no, because the problem is my setup here. I've only got one monitor, and I use it to look at the Great Wall of. It honestly looks right now.
These things called phones. You could have it on too.
Oh no, I've got my phone here.
Yeah.
But I'm an old person, Rob. I print out all my emails. and a lot of things need to be reconnected for my tour of up here.
Have you written a script yet? So as soon as an email comes in, it automatically prints it for you?
Oh. I could do that. We'd run out of paper.
Yeah. All right.
Well, on that note.
Yeah.
I think we've done all right.
Yeah.
I need to go put my hats away.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
With more non-F1 news.
Yeah.
See ya.
See ya.